Hello! I have got so many jobs to do round here, I don't know where to start. So these are the jobs I need to do over the next few weeks. So the last time you saw me, I was installing this electric panel on the side. Now this is here temporary because I need to rebuild the side of this barn because it's rotting at the bottom. And that's a major job that needs doing in this workshop before I can finish this wall and finally finish the electrics. But at least now I've got the electrics done and got rid of all the cables off the floor, I can actually park the tractor. And by the way, since I last saw you, I've now got a light switch. No more plugging lights into extensions. Now we've had so much rain over this autumn and winter that I'm starting to get a little bit of water in the barn. Mostly it's running under the door because of the guttering, and this is only temporary. I've got some new guttering to fit and complete the front of the barn. Also the ridge tiles were only on temporary about 6 years ago, and the water's driving under them and actually running down the underside of the roof, so the ridge tiles need doing. But whilst I'm doing the guttering, I'm going to clear this area here and site a new large water butt to capture the water off the roof. This area at the back of the barn is going to be reserved for a very special project which I'm keeping secret and will be coming your way soon. The project means that I'm going to need to move the posts for these washing lines, so these are going to be relocated somewhere else in the garden. Now spring is here, the garden obelisk is now back out in the garden. This is the 4th season that we've had this since I made it in the small loft workshop. If you want to see how I made it, the link to the video is in the top corner. When I resite the clothes posts, I'm going to try and do something creative on the lines of a garden obelisk to hide them from view, because they're not the most attractive item. The rose trees are starting to grow around our new rose arbour. I need to complete this sleeper wall around the edge of the veggie bed by the greenhouse. I need to finish the terrace build that we started a couple of years ago. First of all, I need to cast some concrete sills on the top of these walls, and then I need to render the inside faces. But then I'm going to level the floor with some levelling compound before laying some travertine tiles to match the house. Sadly, the firewood pile is going down, but we've not quite run out yet. We've still got some around the garden from the huge stash that we bought at the beginning of the autumn. The summer comes, we like to put our dining room table here, and to complement that I'm going to build an outdoor kitchen with a cooker and some storage for those really hot summer days. Over the last few days, Lynn's worked really hard. We've removed the old rosemary from this flower bed and created a brand new flower bed. Okay, so into the garage. I need to totally redesign this space with some better storage solutions for all the clutter I have here. Most of this is my running cycling outfits, and there's some Christmas decorations. But before I do this, I need to replace this water tank with a brand new one. That's at least 20-year old and it's not performing very well. And all these piles of tiles here we've kept in storage for a couple of years to complete the floor in the utility. I wanted to show you the utility, but the washing machine's on, although it just sounds like it may have just finished. This is our utility. I need to continue the tiles through into the utility, and this area here I'm going to build a bespoke cloakroom, cupboards, coats, hooks. Now in the kitchen I've got a few jobs just to finish off. Like any house renovation, you always do the main job so you can have a functional space, but then you move on and you never quite come back and finish the jobs. So the wall cupboards still need their plinths and end panels on. We bought a new fridge last year because the old one broke, and the new fridge was taller than the old fridge, so I've now got a gaping hole at the top that I need to come up with some cunning design for. And embarrassingly, this area here is what's called a squareway. It was an archway that we're turning into a squareway because we didn't like the arch. Now this is a project that would embarrass Petrocello, how long it's taken me to do this. On the lounge side, it's nearly done. We're on the kitchen side, so I need to finish some storage cupboards in this space here. and make the whole thing just look neater. On the lounge side, I've still got a cupboard to make that matches that wall panelling and the two cupboards that are down there. And I also want to replace these two. I had this bit of timber left in the workshop, so I just quickly made these doors, and I don't like them, so they will be replaced. The staircase is finished. The staircase is by far the best project I think I've done in this house all the time we've had it. And this was all made in the small loft workshop, for those who remember the small loft workshop, and came here in parts. Now this is our dining room, and at the moment there's no work to do in the dining room, thankfully, but we are housing the new bathroom suite in here. So I have a wall mounted toilet to fit, the basins there, the new sink and a new tap. Because it may be a while before I use these products, we just opened them to make sure they were in good order when we accepted the deliverer. They're going to stay there for a while, but let's go up to the bathroom and I'll explain what we're going to do up there. We bought the flush wall-mounted toilet, which will be replacing this toilet and these cupboards here. And also we bought the new sink, which will be replacing this sink, and I need to build a vanity unit to fit underneath because we couldn't find a vanity unit that we liked and was the right size. I found a vanity unit that we did like that was the wrong size, so I'm going to try and replicate that to go in here. Now there is another project I need to do in this space, but I'm going to leave that for a further video when I actually get round to doing it. So watch this space. And one of the first jobs I'm going to be doing in a small barn workshop is finishing these wardrobes in the guest bedroom that I started in the autumn. I made the wardrobes and I made this live edge top, which I really love, from floorboarding, which is great because it means I can work here at my laptop under the window. This is actually where I do some of my editing. We put the pop-up bar in, so I just need to finish the doors. Now I started the doors at Christmas. In fact, my last 12 days of Christmas video with the clamping jig was the panels for the doors. And since then, the beginning of January, the doors and the frames have all been under this bed. They're all here to keep them as flat as possible before I router and put the frames together and then router the mouldings on these. So these are the next joinery project that will be done on this channel. And lastly, this is a project that I'm really excited about, although unfortunately it's low on priorities and we'll need to wait till the end of the queue. And it's a remodelling of our third bedroom, which I use as my study, where I do most of my work, including my video editing. I call this room my COVID room because before COVID in 2020, this room was just where I kept my tools before the barn was secure. And during the early days of the lockdown in 2020, everything that you can see in this room, the wardrobes and the cupboards and this desk, was all made from stuff I had lying around either in this room or in the barn. So the desk is made of a board and the legs are two spindles that was spare from the staircase. The cupboards are all leftover bits of melamine or furniture board. I had a pair of sliding doors which I fitted for them, and because of the shape of the room, I actually cut another pair of sliding doors up and used some parquet flooring for the surround to make the doors for there, and then used tongue groove boarding to make the doors for them. So all these was really made out of things that was laying around that we hadn't really bought for this space other than the doors. And I really like watching these, the best desk setup ever on YouTube. So that's what I'm going to aim for here, some real fancy desk setup, LED lights, that kind of thing. I do my video editing on a Mac Mini M2 Pro, and I also have a PC here that I use for more my CAD design work. So when I get to this project, we should be done. But of course, when you're renovating a house, the work is actually never quite done. There's the jobs that's coming your way over the next few months, and I'll see you soon. Bye.